Hey, Eric from Neater Nest here. Hey, I wanted to share a quick story with you. Sometimes as homeowners, we don't always get to build and create the space that we love. Sometimes we have to spend that time fixing stuff. And this weekend, we had an unfortunate incident with the dishwasher. And luckily, my wife discovered that there was some water sitting at the bottom of the dishwasher, and I got down there and felt the baseboards were wet. And the past couple weeks, I had noticed that the floor was starting to buckle a little bit. It looked a little bubbly and it was kind of strange. But this is a very common problem that happens with dishwashers, and unfortunately, it is something that can cost hundreds and sometimes thousands of dollars from the damage that can be done. All from a simple little leak that anybody can catch, and it's very easy to fix. This cost me 20 bucks to fix it. So I put together a quick little video to kind of walk you through the troubleshooting process that I went through to discover the problem and figure out how to fix it. So I kind of walk you through my thought process step by step, and you can see how I fixed it. We noticed water at the base of our dishwasher, and when we would dry it up, the water just kept coming. So I started by removing the lower panel of the dishwasher. It's just a couple screws, and that allowed me to see the under mechanics of the dishwasher. Water and electricity don't mix, so before you go sticking your hands in there, make sure you unplug the dishwasher. To unplug it, no electricity, and we need to turn off the water. Well, we're gonna try and get this tube off of here. So there's a sensor under here. There it goes. Okay, so we got that piece. You can see the drywall is wet back here. This is about where the leak was. So the water is running under the floor and then getting on the drywall back there. So now we're gonna go in the basement. You can see the panel right here. This is all wet, so this has been leaking for a while. So you can see we have all this floor damage now from the water leaking from underneath the dishwasher, and the water was going down underneath the floor and then coming up underneath here and warping the wood enough to making the finish chip away. So this is an engineered hickory floor, and you can see it's just pretty much ruined on this section. So the next question I have is, where is this water going? Because it's not just staying here under the floor, it's going down to the basement. So we're gonna run down there and see if we can find that leak. And for location purposes, I know inside this wall, I know there's a beam right there. There's a giant beam, and that tells me that in the basement, It's going to be right over the beam that we have in the basement. And I know where that is, so I know about where we need to look. So let's go check it out. All right, we're down here in the basement, and we're going to see if we can find that water leak. We know it was right underneath the beam that's up inside this hole here. So I brought with me a flashlight. I've got some gloves because there's some insulation I have to deal with. And I brought a little towel that we can use to soak up any water that we find. So let's check this out up here. So right away, I can see the beam is right there. That kind of reddish brown beam in that corner, and right over here. Right there. It looks like it's dripping down from somewhere. I can probably crawl over there and take a look. So I'll go check that out and sop up that mess. When I look underneath, it doesn't look like it's come through the drywall all the way, at least to the basement here. So we caught it a little early. Plenty of damage upstairs, but not too terribly bad down here. So that's a good thing. Well, first of all, it's a good thing I'm skinny, because this opening up here is super tiny and I could barely squeeze through. But I did end up finding an extra leak. One thing with water is it might come down in one spot, which might be the source of the leak, but then it's going to hit something and it can relocate itself to another part of the house. And that's what was kind of happening up here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but we'll try. Over here, right above that pipe, is actually where I think the water was coming down, but then it was running and it was coming down this way and got to about here and was dripping down just to the right of the pipe. You can see where that kind of wet spot is. But then it also relocated itself down this way because it was running under the floorboards upstairs. And you can see on this floor joist here, you can see how it is a little wet on this one part. So hopefully all these will stop and they'll dry up, because water is a huge problem. And it also looks like, from what I can see right now, maybe this 2x4 looks like it was getting a little wet. Yeah, that's really wet. So hopefully that will dry itself up too. The rest of these seem okay. But yeah, I was collecting on this 2x4 right here, and it was running down here, and then I think running down on the inside and soaking this. So water is a crazy thing, how it can move all over the place, and cause lots of damage, even though it's just little tiny drips. So another thing to do when you're looking for leaks, active leaks, is just sit in one place for a while and see if you can hear drips. And that's what I was doing here. And as you can see, there's water falling on the top of our central vac, which is not great. Not excited about that. It looks like it's dripping from up here somewhere. So again, water can just go all over the place. It's crazy. All right, so I just decided to tear this all out because it was so soaking wet. Everything behind the dishwasher here, there was this nice panel, and I can't flip my camera around. Okay, so you can see it's all water damaged on the bottom. Huge mess back here. It's all soaked. The floor is soaked. So now that we have it all torn out and we found all the drips and leaks and stuff in the basement, and we're gonna put some fans on here, let it dry out overnight. And I found this part. This is the bad part that was leaking under the dishwasher. So I found a place, well, hopefully, I haven't confirmed, but hopefully they have these parts in stock, so I can get a new one tomorrow, get that replaced, and get this dishwasher working again, and then we can clean up our mess and repair some stuff at a later date. So anyway, that was our fun Saturday afternoon.